Super Dave here with another Super Dave review. Hi toy fans, it is Batman Day here at Super Dave's Reviews, and we're going to be looking at two Batman action figures. The first one we're going to look at is by a new company, by Flame Toys, called Flame Toys, and they have made Batman Arkham Knight Armored Batman that's supposed to stand over 7 inches, made of plastic and die cast. He's boasting over 80 points of articulation. Here's a stock photo of what he looked like on Big Bad Toy Store when I ordered him that sold me. But I wanted to check him out. I'm not a huge Batman fan. I'm more of a Superman fan. But I just had to get a hold of these two figures. This one and the new Hush Batman in the gray suit. I've got his ring because it came with my Superman. That's what I really wanted. But I wanted to check out this guy because I really liked Superman so much. In that Hush figure, I wanted to check the Batman out and have them side by side. So we're going to be looking at both of these today. So come on, let's check them out. So the first thing I wanted to do is open this nice premium box in front of you. Love this box art on the front. It's got some of the language here on the side. Then it has Flame Toys on this side and then just some legalese on the back. And let's go ahead and check this out. Looks like such a premium, nice box. And it opens, slides open like this. So there we have it. And then as we look inside, there's some instructions right off the top of what to do and what not to do. And he's all wrapped up here. So I'm going to get all this unwrapped and I'll be right back. So I have him unwrapped here and you see how impressive this guy looks. He comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of hands, counting the one he's equipped with. 1, 2, 3 weapons, plus a knife and a sheath. Looking great. If you look in the back here, he actually has a stand. Looks very similar to the stand we got with the Sentinel Iron Man. So that's interesting to note here. But let's go ahead and break this guy open and check him out all the way. And the first set of hands that our Batman comes with is these tight-fisted hands. And then the second set, which he's wearing a set of these, is the rifle-holding hands. And it's molded to hold the butt of the rifle with the trigger finger, and then you see the other hand kind of holds underneath it as he's illustrating here holding this rifle. And then finally he has this set of knife holding hands, and they're molded to fit his dagger, his knife, perfectly. And then Batman comes with this really cool and intimidating rifle with a scope and some combinations of some dark grays, gunmetal, and metallic silvers. Really cool looking rifle he's able to hold there. And it comes with these nice looking cannon style pistols, which the holsters are installed on the top of them because they plug in the side, which we'll see in just a moment. And then finally he comes with this dagger and this sheath, which also installs on his person, which we'll show you in just a moment. Now it's time for Batman's articulation. Starting off with Batman's head, it is on a ball joint, as you can see. But first I will show you that this neck joint moves all the way around and will turn. So it's very tight, but it'll turn. I love that silver detail that's going down the throat up into the neck. That'll pop up. He'll look up about that much. He'll look down all the way. And of course he's going to be able to look side to side, get some tilting action going on there, and full range of motion all the way around. Really nice. Really good for our Batman's head. You can see that those eyes are clear up in there. Would have been neat if they could have put a bulb up into his neck so those eyes would glow. That would have been perfect, because even the ball joint was clear, so it's almost like they designed it to be that way but didn't include the bulb. But anyway, the mechanics. And for the cost of this figure, they certainly should have done that, in my opinion. But let's go on to the next part, which will be the shoulder pads here. These have a very good range of motion. They're on a ball joint, so they'll move all the way around and can move out of the way, so you don't have any problems there. And then of course his arm is on a ball joint. His shoulder is going to be able to, his arm is going to be able to reach all the way up there. We can rotate this out of the way so we can show you that he has real bicep swivel and double jointed elbows, which get better than 90 degrees. Pretty good motion there. And then he's also got another articulation right here at the elbow. This will shift from there to down here. And then of course he's on a hinge and ball joint with his wrists. So you get full range of motion there. And this part, even when you move it, moves out of the way. It shifts up. When you move that, it shifts up a little bit. It's on a hinge, this little piece right here. So there's just a lot of articulated pieces, like it says. And there is a little bit of a ball jointed motion of what you call butterfly joint kind of up in there. You can see it a little better from the back. It doesn't have great range, but it is present. You can see it there. So the ball joint moves forward, but also this little wing part comes out from the back, so you can see that. Also, while we're back here, I'll show you that he has these thruster, I'm calling them thruster looking things, kind of like on Iron Man. This is like the Batman Iron Man version. These little thruster things, kind of like what we saw on the Sentinel Iron Man, but those are cool. So they can move around wherever you want them. You can go straight up with them, or you can just go ahead and fold them all the way back down there. So that's cool. All right, go ahead and move these arms out of the way. Go ahead and show you this upper diaphragm gets very good range. It's on a ball joint, and so you can bend forward that much, and then you can bend backwards a really good amount. And see, it doesn't even show very much gappage there at all, but he bends back a good amount, and so you get a full range of motion. It will tilt side to side a little bit, especially when you incorporate the ball joint at the hip, which also has a ball joint that when you bend both forward, you're going to get a good amount of articulation forward and a very good amount of articulation back. And while we're on that, I'll show you here, you can see these little ball joints right here, and that's because you have a actual hinged belt, kind of like we saw if you watch my cable review. That belt will completely fold out of the way and go and turn and twist and go wherever you want it to, so that it does not interfere with the articulation in any way, any fashion. And then when you pull it to the side, it looks like it's clipped on to that little section right there. But then you can move it out of the way and get him posed where you need to, and then position those back where you want to. If you want them flapping out a little bit like that because he's kicking, or if you want them tight up against him there, or if you want to move them completely out of the way like so, then you don't even see him at all. So that's really cool. So you've got some options there to maneuver the belt, the utility belt. Batman's always got a utility belt. So that's cool. And I've got a blue bulb that's reflecting off some of that silver, if you're wondering. Kind of like they did in their stock photos. Cool looking, isn't it? Then there's another articulation on the chest here. Let's see if I can get a good amount of light to really show you this. So you can see on that chest piece, this piece will go in slightly, and then you can pull it out slightly. Do that on both sides. But that's just a little bit of an articulation on the chest piece there. Now there's a lot going on with these legs. I want to show you how these work. They do rotate out about that much. You can see there. And then to go ahead and show you this right here will maneuver out of the way, this part back here, so that you can go all the way back with that leg, just like that, almost full splits that way. So that's a really good range of motion. And then of course both legs can go forward all the way, and then you have double jointed knees. And this is on a little articulation, this little part right here on the knee cap hides some of that, but it's really nicely done and executed. You see that once you get it back, and you can put this back and go, it will touch his back. It'll go all the way back there like that. Really nice, really neat, very well executed. So very nice. And then of course he will get splits, not quite all the way splits, but I mean, you got good enough splits here. I mean, he can get some really good kicking motion going on there. That's really cool. Very well executed. And when you move this, you see this piece here shifts. It shifts forward and backwards based on how it needs to bend. So that's really neat mechanics back here, similar to what we saw with Ava from Evangelion, Ava 1 and 2. Cool. Then going on down to the feet. These feet are really good. He gets full tiptoes there, full tiptoes, and then you can go up, clips into place really well. That really doesn't get in the way. And then you have a really interesting toe articulation there. You can see how that worked. And then you do get excellent rocker joints that are not really hindered that bad by the plastic that you see on the side. Still going to get very good range. They're very solid. Now I have not felt any metal per se in this figure yet. It must be more in the skeleton. Everything I feel on the outside, regardless of how it looks, is plastic. I'll just mention that. So I'm not sure exactly where they're referring to die cast, unless it is like right here. This may be metal right here, this black part here up in there. And by the way, that's another articulation. It will turn here, right there. It will turn right there at the thigh. So really nice. And as I was mentioning, as far as articulation, you do have the ability to shift, I guess, his buttocks area back, so that when you need that, and you can slide the display stand up in there a little bit too, if you want to kind of get some crotch action, have him leaping, kind of like I showed you a moment ago. But then also, we'll go ahead and show you this part. You can take this out, this clips out, and then you're able to clip on this sheath. This sheath is able to clip right into place, like so. It goes this way. The sheath goes on the back, and then you're able to slide the dagger right inside of that sheath. It's easier to put it in first, so you see where the blade goes right there, and then snap it on. There you go. So he can store his dagger on that back part of his lower back there. And you may have noticed too, this, when you bend forward, how it reveals some of that red underneath there. Almost like a spine, which is really cool. Really cool detail there. Like a spine going forward. The vertebrae. Again, kind of like what we saw on the Evangelion, except Evangelion had even more bendable parts in the vertebrae than this Batman does. This Arkham Knight Armored Batman. So just really cool accessories, really cool articulation. I believe I just about covered everything articulation wise, but since we were looking at how the weapons go on, I'll show you these holes on the side of the thighs here. And so you're able to snap on these pistols, cannon looking pistols here. Pretty good size, reason I call them cannons. Now they will come out of that holster. It's just, they're very well positioned in there, but but they will come out. And of course he can hold those. That's not the right hand for it. All you have to do is there's so much articulation, you have to be careful where you grab him, is pop off that hand, pop this one back on there. You heard it clip. And then this slides right into place with the trigger finger already ready, as you can see. So really good. And see, you've got both holsters on his side thighs there, and that just looks excellent. Love that red trim that gets throughout. You have some blacks, some dark grays, some gunmetal, and then you have some of these blue accents like here on the chest and on the side here. And then you've got some of these whites, and then the red accents that are sprinkled through. It's kind of a shimmering, you can see up in here, kind of a shimmering, glittery almost, even in the helmet. So just some real cool contrast. This guy looks almost like he's from space, more like the Evangelion, like I was saying, Ava's, even Transformer-like. You can compare him even to more of an Iron Man, you know, more than maybe your traditional Batman look. But that's one of the reasons I like this guy. I mean, if you don't want him to be Batman, you can have him be whatever you want him to be in your universe. He could even be a modern day RoboCop. I mean, he's cool. He's very neat. There's not necessarily a Batman insignia on him that says he's got to be Batman. It's just really neat, cool looking character. I mean, we were talking about RoboCop. Just look how cool he's looking coming down the alley here. Neat, really cool. Really cool looking action figure. I mean, I can't get away with how much he looks almost like a Transformer, like we were talking about. I mean, he's just really neat. Before we move on to our next Batman, let's take one last spin at this Flame Toys Arkham Knight Batman, Armored Batman. He is looking really awesome. Just check him out. From head to toe, he's looking great. Fully armed. Got both pistols on his sides there. He's looking really stellar. All those colors coordinating as far as those dark colors, the mechanical looking machinery. He's really seamless. You don't see a lot of the seams of the bends of his articulation. Just looking really, really cool. That rifle and the way he can hold it, butterfly joint, just great detail given to every inch of this Batman. I love the way his feet function. He's definitely got a firm foundation in those feet. He's going to be able to get a lot of good poses. You don't have to worry about him toppling over very much because his feet are just really well stabilized. See that blue shimmering even at his shin there. Just well done, well done. Now let's take a look at our Hush Batman. He is looking cool, and he's going to go really well along the side our Hush Superman, of course. This is the gray and dark blue suit that comes with the Bruce Wayne head, which I really like. Let's break him open and check him out by MaFex. And here is our Batman outside of the package, and he is looking stellar with that extremely huge cape, wired cloth cape that he comes with, which pretty much covers up his entire body, but is really stellar, really awesome, really amazing. So some of the Justice League have come on over to check him out, and we're going to check him out as well. Let's first of all look at his accessories. He first comes with this grappling type hand, and then also with a relaxed type pair of hands, and then a trigger finger type pair of hands, and then the fisted hands that have like the little grippy thumb on there to hold his cape. And then he comes with, of course, well, he didn't come with it. It was in with the Superman, but I went ahead and included it over here. The one that came with the Hush Superman, the ring with the kryptonite, the hand with the kryptonite ring, and then the ones with the claws, and then the hands that are holding the grappling gun, which also comes with a grappling piece and the extended grappling piece here, as well as a number of different kind of bat boomerangs and an alternate head with the angry eyes, and then of course this really nice Bruce Wayne head. And then he comes equipped with this more stoic face, serious face, the whited out eyes, the utility belt which is on him, and then his hands that he comes with are the balled up tight-fisted hands. So a lot of great accessories that come with this Batman. Now to look at Hush Batman's articulation. Let's take a look at him here. We have to get this cape on out of the way. Just fold it back here just for a moment here. Starting with the head here, he's able to look up a good amount, even better than Superman. Excellent there. He's able to tuck that chin all the way to his chest, get plenty of range there. He is going to be able to get plenty of pivoting because that neck also moves, going back and forth, of course, in all the directions. So you're going to get great articulation with that head. Moving on to the arms, once you get the cape out of the way, his arms will go better than 90 degrees. And then you have true bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Look, that's excellent range there. This is a fixed piece on his gauntlet. Then you have hinge and swivel, of course, at the wrist, going in any direction. And then moving on to his, and he does have butterfly joint. Want to mention that as well. You see that butterfly joint going on in the back area there. And then moving these arms out of the way and moving on to his diaphragm, he's able to crunch forward just a little bit at the rib cage, and then he's able to crunch back quite a bit at the rib cage, even though it does show some gappage. But then once you incorporate the ball joint at the waist, then he's able to go all the way forward almost. Really good range there. And then he is able to crunch even further back. And then this utility belt is connected back here on the back of his belt area, so it kind of slides up and down. You can manipulate that, really don't turn much. It's almost like you want to kind of make it go down some more, showing those abs, but then it just kind of pops back up there, covering up some of the abs. But it'll work okay, and maybe we can disconnect it back here, I'm not sure. But of course he will get full range there and can of course twist side to side as much as he needs to. So that's excellent. Pretty good articulation at the waist and abdomen area. Moving on to his legs, there is a little bit of a drop down method there, and so he'll be able to kick up about that much, kick back about that much. There is double jointed knees, which allows him to kick his own back there. There is no boot cut, but you can't, it popped off there, but you can pop that right back on. There is some thigh swivel there, you just have to be careful. And he does have excellent tiptoe ability there at the feet. Goes up a good amount, toe pivot as you see there. And then of course also excellent rockers. You can get excellent rockers there on both of the feet. No foot peg hole, but he has just about everything that you would need articulation wise to get some great poses. And of course, here's another big thing about this one, is he has this humongous cape. Check that out. Look at the span there of this humongous cape. I mean, that is just phenomenal. And so you can see you're going to be able to get a lot of mileage out of that cape as far as posability, because there are wires in the rim here and about midway here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 wiring areas for this Batman, and so he's really cool. And of course you can also pop off the neck here and then exchange it for the Bruce Wayne neck, which is the flesh tone neck, and you'll be able to pop that in and get the same amount of range. Actually, it looks like his does even better as far as articulating that neck, being able to look around. Not as tight anyway, but it's really nice, really cool. I love that face sculpt. They did a fabulous job, in my opinion, with that face sculpt. I think it looks great. I'll go ahead and fold his cape back down here, and you can see how good this Bruce Wayne looks. Excellent head sculpt. Love that. Love the detail of the hair and the face. Just excellent. Muscularity and the shading in the muscles and in the legs, really nice. Show you the back. You can see the muscularity in the back. That soft rubber material that's around the buttocks area. Works really, really good. Looks excellent. And of course, with that other head sculpt and neck that we popped off, you can pop off that one. This is kind of like the Superman peg neck. It has that angle to it, so you make sure that's turned that way so you get the most upward head motion. But there's that angry face. Great detail. You see the ears through the mask, as well as these soft pointy ears up here. Great looking head sculpt. And here's the real dynamic duo. That's right, Batman and Superman together here. Just looking amazing. Look at Batman where he's able to hold his cape with that thumbed finger there. Just excellent looking with the way that you're able to pose these capes with the wire in them. Make it look like they're whipping around. Really, really cool. They're looking great together. I did snap on a Henry Cavill head on that Superman. Sorry about that. But we're highlighting the Batman anyway, but that's cool.